morning, Grace Churches. Hope you guys are all okay. Just wanted to share some of my lockdown thoughts with you guys, and I hope that you find it encouraging. So I just wanted to start by saying that I really feel, and I think many of us do, that we're going to see a time of great revival through this crisis. And I'm really praying that we will see lots of people saved, because in a way, I guess, lots of the things that we depend on, like jobs, family, friends, social engagements, marriages, all of these kind of things have kind of, in a way, been taken away from us a little bit. So I think that we, as followers of Jesus, are definitely learning to depend more on God. I know I am. And turning to him daily, and it's my prayer as well that those people who don't yet know Jesus will learn to kind of depend on him and turn their eyes towards Jesus, and learn to lean on him. So Psalm 62, 5-8 sums this up quite well, I think. So it says, "Let all that I am wait quietly before God, for my hope is in him. He alone is my rock and my salvation, my fortress where I will not be shaken. My victory and honour come from God alone. He is my refuge, a rock where no enemy can reach me. O my people, trust in him at all times. Pour out your heart to him, for God is our refuge." So then the next thing I'm going to say, hopefully we'll kind of tie into that a bit later. So last week I was chatting to my housemate Isaac, and I was just kind of saying that I'm finding it quite difficult to balance kind of acknowledging all of the suffering that's going on in the world at the moment, particularly alongside kind of finding hope and joy in Jesus, because there's so much suffering happening, particularly now, like loved ones and family being in hospital, being ill, anxiety and fear levels are really high. There's kind of been job loss and redundancies, and kind of isolation leading to depression and loneliness. And then obviously across the world in poorer countries, there's people who are living in really crowded communities, finding it hard to isolate. People don't have access to clean water, and don't have access to supplies of food, making them vulnerable to starvation. And obviously, it says in the Bible in Psalm 34:18 that the Lord is close to the brokenhearted, and also that we are called to feel compassion and kind of come alongside people in their suffering. In Romans 12:15 it says, "Weep for those who weep." But then also we're called to find hope and joy in Jesus as well. In Lamentations it says, "The faithful love of the Lord never ends, his mercies never cease. Great is his faithfulness, and his mercies are new every morning." Nehemiah says, "Do not grieve, for the joy of the Lord is your strength." And Exodus says, "The Lord is my strength and my song, he's given me victory." So I was just kind of saying I'm finding it hard to balance, like finding joy in Jesus, but also kind of not forgetting that people are suffering. And Isaac kind of said to me, well, the worst case scenario, if you like, is that we will all die and go to heaven and be rejoicing with Jesus in glory for all eternity. And that's the worst case scenario. And I was like, obviously that's amazing, and that is what we hope for. And Jesus has already won the victory, and death's already defeated. And that kind of reminded me of this verse in 2 Corinthians that I've been trying to memorise over the last couple of weeks, and it's been a massive encouragement to me. So that verse is 2 Corinthians 4:17-18. It says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, and what is unseen is eternal." And there's another couple of verses that I found as well when I was kind of preparing this. So one is John 16:33, which says, "I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, for I have overcome the world. And Psalm 30 verse 5 says, weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. So these kind of verses have been a big encouragement to me and have kind of given me a bit more of an eternal perspective, I guess. So everything that happens here on this earth, Jesus has already dealt with. He's already defeated death and he's already won the victory for us, so that we can hope and we can have a hope that we will have eternal life. And I just think it's amazing that, you know, whatever happens on this earth, whatever troubles we have, will just pale in comparison to the glory that Jesus has already secured for us to share with him forever. There's just a couple of verses that I found about the inheritance that has been secured for us as well. So 1 Peter 1 verse 4 says, now we live with great expectation, and we have a priceless inheritance that is kept in heaven for you, pure and undefiled, beyond the reach of change and decay. Ephesians 1:18 says, I pray that your heart will be flooded with light so that you can understand the confident hope that he has given to those he has called, his holy people who are his rich and glorious inheritance. And Romans 8:17-18 says, now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God and co-heirs with Christ, if indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing to the glory that will be revealed in us. So, you know, like I say, this has just given me a more eternal perspective, and this is the hope that we have, that this inheritance is ours to share, which is really amazing. And then I said to Isaac when we're talking about this, you know, it's wonderful for us who know this, but then there's so many people out there who don't yet know Jesus and don't yet have this hope. So then I kind of thought, tying into my first point about seeing people saved, that this needs to be our motivation for evangelism, that we need to tell people about this amazing hope that we have. Anyway, so I'll stop now, going on too long. But I hope that this made sense, and I hope that you find it encouraging. And God bless you all, miss you, and hopefully see you soon. Bye.